We're surrounded by all these invisible systems that keep our world running. But what about the system that's designed to protect us at work? Today, we're going to break down one of the most important frameworks for our well-being out there: workplace safety, health, and environment, or, as it's known, SHE. So why is this such a big deal? Well, it all starts with this number right here. And honestly, it's a figure that's almost too big to wrap your head around. The International Labor Organization estimates there are 270 million non-fatal workplace accidents around the world every single year. And that's not even counting the millions of work-related illnesses or the tragic fatalities. The scale of this is just staggering. But here's the most important part, the thing that changes everything. We call them accidents, right? That word makes it sound like they're just random, unavoidable bits of bad luck. But the truth is, the vast majority of these incidents, they are not random at all. They are preventable. And that simple fact completely reframes the whole conversation. Suddenly, this isn't a story about bad luck anymore. It's about a solvable crisis, a preventable global problem that has very real, very high costs, both in human lives and in economic terms. Costs that are paid by individuals, by companies, and really by all of us. But, take a look at this. The risk isn't spread out evenly, not by a long shot. Some jobs are just fundamentally more dangerous than others. You can see right here that sectors like construction and agriculture have some of the highest fatality rates in the world. This isn't just data. It's practically a roadmap telling us exactly where we need to focus our attention the most. Okay, so if these incidents are preventable, then how do we prevent them? Well, that brings us to the solution, a structured system that we call SHE management. This is the whole integrated approach, and it's designed from the ground up for one thing: prevention. At its heart, SSE is all about taking an integrated approach. See, it's not just about wearing a hard hat or putting up a warning sign here and there. It's about systematically managing the entire workplace environment to protect people from getting hurt or sick, while also protecting the natural world from the impact of how we do business. Think of SHE as being held up by three main pillars. First, you've got occupational safety. That's all about preventing the immediate stuff: the slips, the trips, the falls, the physical injuries. Then there's occupational health. This deals with more of the long-term issues, like exposure to chemicals or even workplace stress. And finally, environmental management, which recognizes that a responsible company also has to be a good steward of the planet. But a really strong SHE system, it's about so much more than just a dusty binder full of rules. It's actually built on three fundamental drivers that make it absolutely essential for any modern organization that wants to succeed. So the question really becomes, why do this? What really pushes organizations to invest all this time and money into safety? Well, the answer is a really powerful combination. It's because SHE is a moral necessity, a legal obligation, and a clear economic benefit, all at the same time. First, and most importantly, it's about people. The idea that every single person has a fundamental human right to go to work and return home safely to their families, well, that's the ethical bedrock of everything we're talking about. Protecting human life isn't a business choice, it's a moral imperative. It's just the right thing to do. Okay, so building on top of that moral foundation, you have the legal framework. All around the world, there are laws and regulations that require employers to provide a safe place to work. And believe me, these aren't just suggestions. If you don't comply, you can face some serious penalties. We're talking heavy fines, project shutdowns, and even legal action. And finally, there's the incredibly powerful business case. Let's be real. A safe workplace is a productive workplace. When you stop accidents from happening, you cut down on all those direct costs from damage and medical bills. But the hidden benefits are even bigger. Your insurance premiums go down, employee morale goes up, and productivity gets a huge boost. Safety isn't a cost center. It's a smart investment that pays for itself over and over again. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But who actually makes it all happen? Who puts it into practice on the ground? Well, that brings us to this critical idea of shared responsibility. The core idea is simple but so powerful. A great safety culture can't just be ordered from the top down. No way. It needs everyone to actively participate, from the CEO making decisions in the boardroom all the way down to the newest hire on their very first day. So this shared responsibility breaks down into three key roles. First, you have the employers. It's their job to create a safe system, provide the right resources, and actually enforce the policies. Then you have the employees. Their responsibility is to participate, to follow the rules, use their gear, and, crucially, to speak up when they see a hazard. And finally, you have the regulators, the government bodies that set the standards for everyone and make sure we're all held accountable. And this isn't all just happening in a vacuum. These roles are guided by big international principles from organizations like the ILO, the International Labor Organization. Their work creates a global foundation, a shared language for workplace safety that influences laws and company policies all over the planet. So the ultimate goal of all of this, the policies, the roles, the rules, is to build something really powerful, a proactive culture. This is the big shift. It's about moving away from just reacting after something bad happens to actively preventing it from ever happening in the first place. And the difference between these two cultures is like night and day. A reactive culture, that's the old way of thinking. It waits for something to go wrong, and then the first question is always, okay, who's to blame? It sees safety as just another cost. But a proactive culture, it's a completely different mindset. It's obsessed with prevention. Its first question is, how can we make our system better? It sees safety as one of the smartest investments you can make. So how does a workplace actually become proactive? Well, it really comes down to embedding 4 core principles into everything you do. First, you integrate SHE into every single process, not just as an afterthought. Second, you focus relentlessly on prevention, always looking for hazards. Third, you make sure responsibility is truly shared by everyone. And finally, you commit to continuous improvement, always learning, always getting better. And that leaves us with one final, powerful question for you to think about. Consider your own workplace, the processes, the attitudes, the conversations you hear. Is it a place that is simply built to react when something bad happens, or is it truly designed to prevent harm from ever occurring in the first place? Because that answer, well, it makes all the difference in the world.